ॐ सहना भवतु सहनौ भुनक्तु सह वीर्यं करवावहै तेजस्विनावधीतमस्तु मा विद्विषावहै। ॐ शान्ति शान्ति शान्तिः। हरिः ॐ। पार्थाय प्रतिबोधिताम् भगवता नारायणेन स्वयं व्यासेन ग्रथितां पुराणमुनिना हे महाभारतम् अद्वैतामृतवर्षिणीं भगवतीम् अष्टादशाध्यायिनीम् अम्ब त्वाम् अनुसन्दधामि। भगवद्गीते भवद्वेषिणीम् वसुदेवसुतं देवं कंसचाणूरमर्दनम् देवकी परमानन्दम् जगद्गुरु No Shastra Vidhi. But he is endowed with Shraddha. So Arjuna raises the question, Ye Shastra Vidhi Kusrujya Vijante Shraddhaya Vivaha Tesham Nishtha Dukha Krishna Tatvama Ahorajastama. So this is what Arjuna asked. That A means those people who Shastra Vidhi Kusrujya, throwing away the Shastra Vidhi, not paying any heed to it, but they are endowed with Shraddha, Shraddhaya Anvita. And the faith of these people, Nishtha, faith of these people, what you will call them? Whether you will call it Satvika, Rajasika, or Tamasika. So they are not as per the directives, injunctions of the scriptures, of the holy books, which are the established ways, which are encoded by the wise. If suppose they are not as per that. So then Bhagavan tries to answer that question, and this whole chapter ensues. And he says this idea of Shraddha, especially in our day-to-day life also, worldly life also, we see many a time this argument is forwarded. So you will see people, they will say that how is more important. आपको कुछ पता है कि नहीं है, how होना चाहिए. So this is a very subtle argument, and therefore Krishna doesn't reply in one answer, yes or no, sattva, rajas, or tamas. He doesn't answer it in one sentence or in one word. He doesn't answer it. And he says that this idea of Shraddha is very profound, and he says that the Shraddha itself is of the three kinds, as per these three gunas, as Sattvic, Rajasic, and Tamasic. And he says that as is the Sattva is the inner core of that individual being of that person. Sattvanurupa sarvasya Shraddha bhavati bharata. As is the Sattva, as is the heart of that individual, so would be his Shraddha. Whether that Shraddha would be Rajasic, Tamasic, or Sattvic. Now, whatever is the Shraddha, person is what is Shraddha is. Shraddha Maya Ayam Purusha. What he says. And he says, Yashraddha Sa Eva Sa. Whatever is the Shraddha of the individual, that the person is. Because here lies the reality. That Shraddha ensues from the very real nature of the individual. So whatever the individual being, it is because of his Shraddha Udri Shraddha Maya Ayam Purusha. Ayam means this. Shraddha Maya. So these things then become connected. But the reality of that individual is, so would be his Shraddha. Whatever his Shraddha is, so would be that individual. Shraddha Sa Eva Sa. Sa Eva Sa, he would be like that. And then he says that the people, his primary question of Arjuna, Yajante, he has asked if people not knowing this Shastra Vidhim, Yajante, if they worship you, for that matter, Shraddhayanvita. And that's why he asks, what is their Shraddha would be called? So Krishna answers here the first thing. Now Shraddha being explained in this way, he says that Sattvika, Rajasika and Tamasika, they worship. And rather they choose their deities according to their Shraddha. And Yajante Satvika Devan. So Satvika people, they worship the Devas. Rajasika they worship Yaksha and Rakshasa. And Tamasika people worship Preta, Bhuta, Gana. So they worship this different kind of people. So according to their taste, according to their beliefs, according to their shraddha, according to the content of their being, these people choose different ideas, different ishta for their worship. So, are they will worship, even it would be conditioned by their shraddha. And now further explaining the further part, these tamasika people, these people, ashastra vihitam. So, whatever is being said that is valid by the Shastras, these people are absolutely devoid of it. Ashastra vihitam. Ghoram tapyante ye tapojana. Dhamma ahankara sayukta kamaraga balanita. So both Rajasic and Tamasic people are described here. Those people who given to ostentation, number, and pride, that is ahankara. Dhamma and ahankara, and driven by passions, and raga means attachment, kama means passions, and this the force of this, they are endowed with this force of this passion and attachment, kama raga balanita. And these people take very severe austerities, ghoram tapyante ye tapo. So ghora tapa these people do. So these are the different kind of people. They not only torture their own body and bhuta gramam achetasa. So these people are unaware. They not only torture their own being, but to me also. They torture who is situated within their being. What does that mean? So one who is situated, one who is the Atman of even these beings, how is he being tortured? So he is torturing his own body for the sake of whatever he wants from this Preta, Bhuta, Gana, Yaksha and Rakshasa. So all these kinds of people, even supposedly Deva this Indradi. So these people would be driven by their passions and attachment, endowed by their strength. They undertake severe austerities. Karshayanta sharirastham bhutagramam achetasa. Achetasa, these people as if not aware. Karshayanta, they torture. Bhutagramam achetasa. Mam chaivanta sharirastham. Tan vidya asura nishchayan. These people have asuric convictions. Nishchayan. Demoniacal convictions. So, how do they torture that being, the God? How do they torture that? So, not only they are torturing you, but these kinds of, when these people are so convinced and they are given to such horrific deeds, fully convinced. Now, these people, this knowledge that there is something reality which is beyond this material. This truth, because these people definitely when they are going to do undertaking such acts, they are motivated by some material prospects of desires, maybe of vengeance, maybe of some different kind of power, superpowers, etc., etc. But ultimately seeking the world and material. And As much they give themselves into it, that light of Atman is so much clouded, that discrimination is clouded, and there remains no godliness whatsoever in their action, behavior, thought, etc. So that much he is parted away from any possibility of recovery or being good or coming to any salvation. This is what will happen. So torturing one who is within him, that he completely is going against that idea, that light, that discrimination, however faintly it might have been coming from him, that this is not right. Now that is completely subdued. That is completely subdued. That's why these people are called as the persons of demoniacal conviction. No soul is left. So these are the people, and this is what the 6th verse has said. Now Bhagavan is saying in the 7th verse, Ahas kopi sarvasya trividho bhavati priya yajñas tapas tatha dhanam yesham bhedam imam shrunu. So Bhagavan is saying that according to this Shraddha, therefore, not only their ways of practicing or worshipping, but all other things, they change according to their Shraddha. So starting with ahara, the food, the habits of taking food. Then also yajna, what they do, what they worship, what they believe in. Yajna, then tapa, what austerities, what efforts they take. Tatha dhanam, if they do any charity of whatsoever kind, so they also differ according to the nature, according to the Shraddha. And then he is going to explain it in very simple verses. There is not much to be understood here. They are as simple as that any translation would convey you. Important is that when we read these ideas, we should be able to correlate to our life in general and try to choose our options as possibly better as we can. So the next verse says, so it describes the ahara according to the 3 different categories. So first category here, आयु सत्व बलारोग्य सुख प्रीति विवर्धना अस्त्या स्निग्धा स्थिरा बुद्ध्या आहारा सात्विक प्रिया. So here in this verse, what kind of food or ahara is loved by a sattvika person, sattvika priya? What is being said here? Ayu, Sattva, Bala, Arogya, Sukha, Priti, Vivardhana. Vivardhana means which will make these things grow. Which things? Which are said here. First is Ayu, that is life, the span of life. Then Sattva, that is the mind. It will, what does it mean? It will make it grow means it will grow in its quality, in its strength. Then Bala, the general physical strength of the individual. Arogya, the healthiness of the limbs and all organs of the body. Arogya, Sukha, it would be there giving rise to happiness. So food which will give rise to happiness. Then Priti, love for others. Sukha is for the self, Priti is for the others. This, etc. Between that is the food. So and then he explains what kind of food. So rasya, snigdha, sthira, rudya. These are the four qualities he expresses. What is rasya means which is not dry, which is juicy. Snigdha, that is which is of oil and butter, or that is snigdha, fats are there. Sthira, which is something which is not unstable, which is substantial, which is solid something. That is thira, which has theria, which has quality, which has steadiness. If something is totally transforming, the next thing, then it is not alright. Thira, Budya, that it is very agreeable and dear. So these are the foods which are loved. They are dear to one endowed with sattva. So sattvika person will enjoy such kind of food. This kind of food would be loved by him, which is rasya, snigdha, hira, and vidya. So vidya means which is not something which you dislike, that you would love to have it, that kind of food. Sira means the food which can maintain its character. It is not easily fermentable. That is not the food. It is. If that food is there, so it maintains its character. Snigdha, which is that sufficient oils and fats, they are there. Rasya, it is not totally dried out, succulent. So these kinds of food, they would be increasing your ayu, sattva, your quality of the mind, physical strength, general healthiness of your body organs, arogya, sukha, and priti. So this is the food sattvic person loves. Then he talks about the food which is loved by the person of the rajasic temperament, and he adds there Katvamla lavana tyushna tishna ruksha vidayana ahara rajasa seshta dukkashokamaya prada. So here in this verse, what has been said, so several characteristics of the food. Katu, amla, lavana, atyushna, that is ati ushna, tikshna, ruksha, vidayana. So these are the quality of the food loved by the rajasa person. Rajasa seshta. So rajasasya ishta, that is rajasa seshta. And they gives rise to dukkha shoka maya pradaha. So dukkha, that is unhappiness, shoka, that is grief, amaya, which is ill health, disease. That's why niramaya means healthy, which does not have any disease. So amaya is the disease. So it gives rise to unhappiness, grief, and disease. So what are these? So Shankaracharya here says that this ati, this adjective, should be applied to all of these characteristics. So ati katu. So katu means bitter. Katu amla, that is sour. That very sour, something. Lavana, that is salty, very salty. And ushna, that is very hot. Tikshna, that is pungent, very pungent. Ruksha, which is dry, which is without any fats or oils. And So these are kinds of food is loved by this Rajasika person, that he likes these extremities, that too bitter, too sour, too salty, too hot, too pungent, etc. Too dry. These kinds of food is loved by the Rajasika people. These kinds of food are giving birth to sorrow, grief, and disease. Then the next quality of food, which is loved by the tamasic people. What is being said? Yatayamam gatarasam bhuti pariyushitam chaya uchishtam apichamedhyam bhojanam tamasa priyam. So here Yatayamam means which has been cooked for several hours before. Yatayamam. Gatarasam, which is therefore dried out. Its rasa has gone, its taste has gone. Gatarasam. Bhuti. Then it has started smelling foul. Bhuti. Paryushitam. Which is there maybe of the earlier days, stale food. And even it might be remnant of some food, or it might be defiled, which is puchishtam api, and chamedhyam. This is the food cannot be offered to anyone, to even deities or to any person. Chamedhyam, they cannot be used for unfit for sacrifice. And this kind of food is dear to one who is possessed by tamas. These people. Now, ahara, this is being spoken about. Now, yajna. Yajna is rather any action which is undertaken, also covering your interest or also along with that with the benefit of others too. That all kinds of actions would be yajna. And how do this yajna or sacrifices? These three kinds of people do in three different ways. Apalakamshi dhiryajno vididrushto yajjate yashtavya me veti manaha samadhaya sasatvika. That sacrifice which is in accordance with the injunction, vididrushta yajjate, this one is performed according to the norms, according to the conviction, according to the what he is supposed to do. That kind of action. That sacrifice which is in accordance with the injunctions and is performed by persons who do not hanker after results, and with the mental conviction that it is surely obligatory. ये माइक चालू है? आवाज आ रहा है? कुछ तो भी डिस्टर्बेंस हुआ ऐसा लगा मुझे. आ रहा है आवाज? मुझे तो मेरा ही आवाज आ रहा है. स्पीकर में तो आवाज कुछ नहीं आ रहा है. थोड़ा गेन बढ़ा के देखो. ये नहीं चल रहा. तो दूसरा माइक दे दो. कोई ख्याल नहीं है। वैसे माइक दे दो, स्टैंड बाद में देखते रहे। अफलाकांक्षी भिर्यज्ञ विधि दुष्टो युज्यते। सो फल आकांक्षा रहित अफलाकांक्षी, ये हम हो रहा है थोड़ा। अफलाकांक्षी यज्ञ, so the yajna or sacrifice or any charitable actions for the welfare of others, which is devoid of the expectation of fruit, afalakamshi vir, and vidhi dushto, which is his natural duty. Vidhi dushto, which is in accordance with the injunctions, or which is known to the scriptural injunctions as or something which a person or society or the set of circumstances are given to believe that this is the natural good duty of the individual. Such a kartavya, such a duty. So when somebody does it, yashtavyam eva, that he is supposed to do that. Yashtam eva, which is surely obligatory. Their duty is to accomplish the sacrifice just as it should be, with the firm idea that I have no human goal to achieve through this. Is said to be a sacrifice which is satvika, done through the sattva. So these are the qualities that such a yajna, such a sacrifice. So anything, one who is doing purely not having any desire, any fruits of action from those actions, and which is in accordance with the set norms, with the accepted norms, that it is the good duty of the individual to do that, act in such a way, in such circumstances, and that he must do that. Yashtavyam eva. Yashta means here to worship or to do that action. When such a and samadhaya, mana samadhaya. So just for the peace of his mind, that it is something that I must do, this is in accordance, it has come to me, and I do not desire anything from that. I must do that. So that all kinds of duties, all kinds of fulfilling your obligations, all kinds of yajnas, they would be called as satvika. These satvika yajnas, they could be any ordinary things, any individual, any woman or man of the world, in his own household, workplaces, in the society, he might be doing. Just as simple as not to litter somewhere, or to help someone, or to take care of someone because it has come to his lot that he must act in such a way. It could be as simple as that. That you might be passing away from there, but you do not leave that dirt behind you. That you can take care of it. You do not become nuisance to others. This is what you do. So this is how the satvika person, he performs his duties. Then the rajasika person, abhisandhaya phalam dambharthamapi chaivaya ijjate bharata sreshta tam yajñam vidhi rajasam. So how this rajasika person performs his duties? Yajñam, abhisandhaya. So keeping the fruit, having in view, so fruits of the action, abhisandhaya tu phalam. Tu means but the rajasic one, he has always the fruit of actions, even performing his duties. If he is doing that, then what he should get, that is always at the top of his consciousness. Abhisandhaya tu phalam dambhartham api, to show off to the world that see, I have done this, I have done that, how great person I am. I was not supposed to do it. If I wouldn't have done, who would have done that? I could have simply walked by, but still I did it. How great person I am. Dambhartham api chaivayat. Ijjate bharata sreshta. Hey bharata sreshta. These people, tam yajñam. When these people do these kinds of sacrifices, know these things as rajasa. So dambha and phala akanksha, these are the two important characteristics of the charity of the rajasic people. Yajna. So, because dana is separate, so charity would be called again separate. So, this is yajna or the welfare deeds. They might include your duties even. But for the sake of others, that's why they are all called as yajna, sacrifices. Then the tamasika person, vidihinam asruštannam mantrahinam adakshinam shraddhavira hitam yajñam tamasa parichakshate. So this the person of the lowest category. So how does he act? Totally vidhihinam. What is according to the norms, he generally is against it. What you are not supposed to do, that you will do. Vidhihinam. And asushtanam. That is, in which food is not distributed. A sacrifice in which food is not distributed, that is called as to brahmanas, etc. Then mantrahinam, adakshinam, that there are in which no mantras are used and it is bereft of all intonations and distinct pronunciations. Adakshinam, in which no offerings are made to the priest as prescribed. And these are shraddha virahitam, that he doesn't believe in these things, devoid of faith. Parichakshate, they declare that yajnam as tamasam, done through tamas, which is vidhihinam, contrary to injunctions, etc. So, how this idea is taken into modern context, modern our day-to-day living, in which people, when they are doing some sacrifices, so to say, for the good of others, they themselves do not believe in it. Shraddha virahitam. It is not according to the norms which that the sacrifices you should not make to what kind of people, in what kind of circumstances that this person would be doing. Mantrahinam, that there is no contemplation, no application of the mind, mantras are not there. Meaninglessness is there. Adakshinam, that when there is no guru, there is no guide, and even if these people are there, if somebody guides them, they do not pay any heed to it, does not respect them. Adakshinam. No food is distributed, there is no attempt to please others. Such is the way of action of this, so to say, this tamasika people. And for what, by what means he call it a yajna, he only knows. And he thinks that doing these things probably it will earn him some merit, some good. So this is the Tavasika person. Now, tapa. Tapa here Bhagavan explains it in a different ways. What is called as this kayik, vachik and manasik tapa. And then he describes that what is called as tapa, and then his further differentiation that satvika, rajasika and tamasika. What are these three different kinds of tapasas or austerities which are being described here, told one by one. So first, the physical austerities, shariram tapam. So here goes the verse number 14. Devadvija Guru Pradnya Pujanam Shauchamarjavam Brahmacharyam Ahimsa Cha Shariram Tapa Uchyate. So Deva, that is the deities, Dvija, that is the Brahmana, Guru, that is your preceptor, Pradnya, that is the wise people, Pujanam. So worshipping these kinds of people. So deities, which are the Ishta, which are you contemplate upon, to whom you surrender the forms of the divine, Deva, Dvija, Brahmana, because he represents certain higher ideal of living. So such a Dvija, one who is living such life of without any material propensities and shows the higher path of life, such is the person, then Guru, your preceptor, your teacher of worldly knowledge as well as spiritual knowledge, Guru, that is Pradnya, the people who are wise. They may or may not be your Guru or Dvija. They may not be even Brahmanas, but they are Pradnya. that they are the knowledgeable people who have seen life, who has gained wisdom, who has therefore gained that substance and gravity. So all they should be worshipped. So worshipping these kinds of people, then shaucham, cleanliness, arjavam, that is straightforwardness, not to have crookedness, cunningness, being simplicity in your speech and conduct, that is arjavam, brahmacharyam, that maintaining this sexual purity, not to indulge, not to give away, run after these kinds of things, that is brahmacharya. It is for any person, whether it is he is brahmachari or whether it is grihastha. So everything is allowed in a proper measure, appropriate measure. There is no doubt about it. So maintaining that decorum, that discipline, that is brahmacharya. And ahimsa, that is not to willfully try to injure others in any way, sharirik, mansik or kaik, or sharirik, vachik or manasik, not in any other way, that is ahimsa. And these kinds of practices, living such a life with Deva Dvija Guru Prajna Pujanam, Shaucham, maintaining cleanliness, Arjavam, straightforwardness and simplicity in your conduct, Arjavam, Brahmacharyam, maintaining celibacy, and Ahimsa, that is non-injuring others. This would be called as Shariram Tapam. This should be that every individual who wish to scale, wish to walk the higher path of life, must pay attention to and must have in his life. That is Sharira Tapa. Then Vachik Tapa, Vangmayam Tapa. What is it? It's explained here. Anudvega karam vakyam satyam priya hitam chayat swadhyaya abhyasanam chaiva vangmayam tapo. That speech which causes no pain, which is true, agreeable and beneficial. Hitam. Agreeable is priyam, but it has to be truth. And it is anudvega karam. So that does not irritate others or annoys others. Anudvega karam. Doesn't disturb others. Anudvega karam. Vakyam, such speech. Satyam, which is truth, which is priya, also would be loved in such words. Hitam would also be beneficial. And then swadhyaya, that is practice of study of the scriptures. Swadhyaya bhyasanam chaiva. This is called as Vangmaya Tapa. So why study is called as Vangmaya Tapa? Because at that time, at one point of time, everything, all Vidya was imparted orally. So all studies, their practice would be oral. That's why Vangmaya was. The study is also therefore included under these austerities of the speech. So here Shankaracharya makes some comment. The speech is qualified by the correct characteristics such as being not hurtful, etc. The cha, that is meaning and, is used for grouping together the qualifying characteristics. That is satya, priya, hitam cha, means all speech they will have to have all three characteristics. It cannot be only satya and it may not necessarily be priya or hitam. So that is not the meaning. This is what Shankaracharya is saying. So all these three characteristics must be present. That it must be truthful, it must be agreeable, priya, and it must be beneficial. That you might be speaking very priya and hitam, but it is not true. So that will not be called as Vangmaya Tapa. That speech will not be called as austerity. You are speaking truth. It might be beneficial, but you are not speaking lovingly. Then again it would not be called as austerity. You are speaking truth. You are speaking it lovingly, but it is not beneficial to the individual. So even that would not be called as austerity. That would not be the right conduct, right speech. When a sentence is used in order to make another understand, if it happens to be divided of one or two or three among the qualities, truthfulness, agreeability and beneficialness, and not non-hurtfulness, then it is not austerity of speech. This point is made. As in the case of truthful utterance, there would occur a want of austerity of speech if it be lacking in one or two or three or the others. So also in the case of an agreeable utterance, there would be no austerity of speech were it to be without one or two or three or of the others. And similarly, the other case. What again is the austerity of the speech? That utterance which is true, as also not hurtful, and is agreeable and beneficial, is the highest austerity of speech. As for example, the utterance, "Be calm, my boy, practice, study and yoga. Thereby you will gain the highest." And etc. Swadhyaya, Bhyasanam, etc. The practice of study of scriptures as is enjoined. So this is Vangmaya Tapa. Then the Manasika Tapa. What is the austerity of the mind? Here, what Bhagavan has said, Manaprasada Saumyatvam Maunamatma Vinigraha Bhava Sanshuddhiritetat Tapo Manasamuchyate. What is being said here? Manaprasada, the calmness, the tranquility of the mind. Manaprasada, Saumyatva, that is gentleness of the mind. That your mind itself is not vexed. Not only your speech, you are sweet, but your mind itself. You do not have that unnecessary aggravation. Saumyatvam. Maunam. That maunam is rather, you see, maunam could have come in the Vangmaya Tapa, the austerity of the speech. But maunam is classified under the austerity of the mind. If mind is not calm, simply restricting speech doesn't mean anything. So maunam is classified as the austerity of the mind. Reticence, with Atma Vinigraha, that withdrawal of the mind. Atma Vinigraha. That mind which is rushing through the Indriyas all over in the world, even if you are closing your eyes, you are thinking and dreaming of all such things, this withdrawal of this mind from all is Vishaya and Vishaya Indriya. So this is called as the austerity of the mind. Then Bhava Sanshuddhi, that purity of the heart, that your mind dwells on the higher thing, that is Bhava Sanshuddhi, that you are oriented by the higher ideas towards life and every perspective of life which you come across. Bhava Sanshuddhi, that your mind is not gross and crude. It doesn't have the lower tendency. All your aspects of the life. So everything this life will bring to you, how you approach them, how you see them, how you react to them, this is Bhava Sanshuddhi. So iti etat tapa manasam uchyate. So these are called as manasika tapa. So here, this is the 16th verse of this chapter. So these are the physical, that is bodily austerities, then austerity of the speech and austerity of the mind. So they are given as the ideal, and individual are supposed to contemplate this idea and try to practice, try to gain them little by little as is convenient for them. So this is for the record, this is for the society, for the individual who want to walk the path of spiritual life. This is how they should direct their efforts to acquire them, whatever is convenient for them. So idea of here this manasa tapa is very beautiful. That saumyatvam, that it has to be inside your heart itself. Bhava sanshuddhi has to be inside your heart itself. Atma vinigraha, mauna, that has to be inside your heart itself. And thereby this mana prasada comes. The general pleasantness of the mind, mana prasada. And maintaining such mind, cultivating such mind, not to let your mind lose this state, would be called as manasa tapaha. This is called as manasa. So here we will take the break and conclude for the day. So next Sunday we will take so maybe so there are few verses remaining in this chapter. So 10 verses, maybe we will be able to complete this 17th chapter in the next class and begin the last chapter of the Bhagavad Gita, Ashtadasha. Om Shanti 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 Hari Om Tat Sat Sri Ramakrishna Arpanamastu.